I won't lie to you, I don't know all of the ins and outs, but I'm going to teach you guys the basics of it a little bit. So first of all, your reports tab is kind of cool, but like I only use it for one thing, and the only thing I use it for is the back order thing. If I want to look at my reports, I'd go onto the COO personally. It's just easier for me to look at everything on the COO. So I don't mess with the reports tab a little bit too, and we'll go over like the back order thing, but I don't really mess with that one too much. Inventory, if you go into your inventory, you have all items, categories, and favorites. You can set certain items as your favorites, which is kind of handy. Like searching for O is sometimes impossible. You type in O and everything that has an O in it pops up and you're like, ah. So Crystal, first of all, was the genius who told me if you type in vanilla, it pops up easily. And I was like, oh, I don't know, I never thought of that. Genius. But you can also save O in like your favorites, and then it pops up easier. Your categories, if you're like typing something in and you're like, I don't know if I'm spelling it right, it's not popping up for me, whatever reason, you can go into your categories, and if you know what category it's in, so if it's like a game, if it's from the Calypso line, if it's a piece of lingerie, and there's pictures too. Like I don't know the lingerie names. I don't know. I know like 3 of them. So if I can't remember, I can go into that lingerie category and it'll pull up the pictures, which is handy. So that's kind of nice too. And then when you're with your all items, obviously you can just type into your search bar what it is that you're looking for. So when you're in there and updating your inventory, you can go in and you can adjust a temporary sale on items if you want to, which is kind of cool. If you hit your temporary sale, it'll ask you how much you want to put it on there for, and you can do a percentage discount or a dollar amount discount. And then your allowed back order sales, that's the little tabby you want to make sure is pink. And that's going to allow you to sell stuff when it's not in your inventory according to your Pure Sale. If you've ever taken an order on Pure Sale and it's told you no, that item doesn't allow for back orders, all you have to do in the middle of that transaction is flip over to your inventory button, pull it up in your inventory, and just flip over that little button. That's it. That's all you have to do.
So as long as it's pink, it is back order.
Yeah, you can go ahead and allow for back orders.
It'll make it a negative on there, right? It'll
give you like a little negative.
It's a different color, just so you know.
Oh, yours is blue?
Pink, yeah.
Oh, mine's pink.
So as long as it has a color.
As long as it's highlighted.
As long as it's highlighted.
It won't let you select it though if the item is no longer available in the COO. Unless
you
if
go-
it's a discontinued product,
Yeah.
it'll automatically take that feature away. So you can't sell it if you don't have it.
So then your on-hand count, you can go in and adjust your on-hand count with your little pluses or minuses, or click on it and type in however much you want. And then again, there's that little tabby to set it as your favorite. You can go boop, I want that in my favorites, and it'll drop it over into your favorites. So that's your inventory tab. You can kind of keep up with that. The first initial go of putting your inventory in is a little bit of a pain in the butt, but once it's in there, it's pretty handy. I'm hearing there's a couple of glitches with this, so just keep your eye on your inventory. However, once you put it in, your orders that you're taking in Pure Sale, they will track your inventory for you. And then when you get shipments in from corporate, you just open up your box and pop it in as you go through your box to make sure you got everything, and just add those quantities back in there, and it'll keep your inventory updated. So that's really handy. And then you have like a ongoing count of like what's going on. So your contacts tab, that one's pretty self-explanatory. Does anyone have any questions about the contacts tab? I didn't think so. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then sell products. I guess this is probably where most people are going to have questions. So you have new party, scheduled party, outside sales. So if you don't already have the party entered, you go new party, and then you're going to go in and add your hostess. And if she's already in your contacts, if she's partied with you before or anything like that, you can hit that little search bar right up at the top there and type in whatever her name is, and it'll pop up. And if she's not in there for some reason, or she's brand new, you just type in all of her information in here. So if you think you have to type everything in all at once and your iPad or Android tablet or whatever is moving really slow, you don't have to type it all in right away. You can do that process later. All you need to move on is a name, and then either an email or a phone number when you're taking orders. I would recommend making sure you do get all of your hostess information in there, because it's a little quicker. But as far as like your other clients that are coming into the shopping rooms, you can just put in like name and email, and then that way their email's in there to shoot them an invoice really quickly, and you don't have to put the rest of it in there until later. Because I know some ladies are saying it runs a little slow for them.
It was taking so long in the room because we had to keep,
typing all of that in. And I know that's a complaint a lot of ladies have. And if you know yourself and you know you're not gonna do it when you get home and put it all in, just suck it up and take the time. Just chat with them while you're putting it in. I know it's a little weird, you're not making eye contact with them during the conversation, but just say, I'm sorry, I'm just making sure your info's in here, so if I need to get in contact with you for anything, I've got it. But if you feel comfortable that you can do it at home, like later, like the next day or whatever, you can just go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a random hostess.
Some people told me that they hand a tablet to them or should
Yeah.
that way.
You can
I do that at the party. I feel like
When
settling
I
in.
meet them at the party, so that before the party's even started, as I'm meeting and mingling and getting my demo table set up, they're going in and putting it in. When they're done, they're like, what do I do now that I'm done? I'm like, oh, perfect, I'll take care of that, thank you. But I still have them fill out the connection.
You go through the contact and do that.
I go to the
I
contact, so
teach
they're
them-
already in the
I like
contact
that.
list, so then I can just add them to the
Pull
party.
them
Yeah,
As your
I
party
teach them
goes.
real quick. I'm like, ladies, this is how you're gonna do that. And then just hit the plus. I was like, who's not iPad friendly? Because that was me a couple months ago. I was like, this is how you're gonna do it. And then I just literally, while I'm setting up and doing basic instinct right behind them, they're doing it all for me. I like that. Just as a paper girl, I still like my customer connection form for now because I'm not 100% on Pure Sale yet.
I do both.
I have to.
Well, your connection cards you need to be using regardless, even if you're using Pure Sale 100%.
I like to touch things.
And that's just it, like having that paper in your hand is a big difference. And God forbid this crashes in all of your contacts, just figured you have your connection cards. Like, don't ever stop using connection cards. Just don't do it. So you have your hostess in there. If you have like a double hostess thing, you can continue to hit add hostess and add as many hostesses as you have for that party. So it's not a big deal. You can just continue to hit add hostess. It's right there. It's not gonna it's super easy. So then you can go continue. It's going to take you into your party details, so you're going to type in the party name. It's the same way you enter a party into the COO. There's literally no difference. So your party name, number of guests, date of the party, start time, end time, party theme, your buying discount, the hostess credit. If you're promised that hostess like double credit, you can adjust it right in there so that instead of 10%, it goes to 20%. It'll always default to that 10%. And then it's got that party notes tab as well, which is really nice if you want to put any little notes in there. Birthdays, that's always handy to put in there if you want. And then your location of the party, so.
I put my booking incentive there too, so I don't forget, like if I posted like free coochie for a year, like if that was what attracted her to book the party, I put it there so that I see it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, the notes section can be really handy. It's just like when you have like a patient file at a doctor's office. Taking notes on that patient is really important. Same thing with your parties, because you're not going to remember when you see them again. And then the location of the party, if you have the hostess's address in there, it'll pre-populate, which is really handy. So you don't have to do anything about that. Sorry, I have to like button mash. And it does make you select the country before you select the state, which is a little backwards, but it's okay. Don't panic. You're fine.
I think they do that because
Select your
it'll pull
country.
the states for.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Nobody panic.
It's weird though. It's funny how you and Joe are wives or whatever you guys call each other because you're really opposite. You're more
Work-wise, yeah.
you're more calming. It's
Complete
oh my God,
opposites.
take your time. It's just like,
Yeah, it's awesome. One time we were in her office at 3 a.m. and she was screaming at me and I was throwing stuff at her. It was great. Her office is beautiful now. So you can save parties and start selling. I swear to God, if that office is messed up when I see it tonight. It's not.
She's gonna call her and be like, I need you to bring her with us.
I just can't imagine you positioning anything with somebody.
Yeah.
That's because you're not me. Now, I got a question. Yes, I was looking, because I did, during the Blitz, put in parties, but none of them are here, and none of them are on the COO either.
Did you sync them?
I think so.
Did you press the manual sync button?
I don't remember.
Okay.
None of the
Skip over
parties
to
are
that
there.
real quick. Because that's the most important thing on the planet. Your settings, advanced, manual sync. Now it's going to tell me no because I'm not connected to Wi-Fi. You obviously have to be connected to Wi-Fi or 4G for that. But manual sync. I press the manual sync before a party, after a party, randomly when I think about it, anytime I enter a party, anytime I change anything, anytime I touch my Pure Sale and I'm at home, I sync that sucker. Like, I'll do it 3 times in a day. I don't care. It's super important. God forbid the app crash and you didn't sync it, you just lost everything. So you want to make sure that you're syncing as often as possible, okay? And that manual sync button is really important. That little heart in the corner under that advanced section in the tabs there, if you have an issue, you press this and it will email the logs of what's going on with your app to our IT team.
Where was that?
It's that heart in the corner.
What? No,
Real
I didn't
advanced.
put heart in a corner.
Under the advanced tab,
And settings,
Oh.
advanced.
settings, advanced, right where you do the manual sync. Yes. That little heart is gonna send the logs to the IT team. So if you're consistently having a problem where it's like closing out on you or you're finding that it's not saving something, send that little report, just press the heart and press, tell it to go ahead and send it. And then email consultant relations at pureromance.com and just say, I sent you guys a log, this is what's happening, let me know what to do.
they can
And
tell
they
you
are
it's not really
so helpful. They will pull that email, they will figure out what's going on, and they will contact you. Okay? This app stuff is like the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I can't even believe they gave it this to
And it's gonna
us.
get so much
And it's like, it's free, guys. Like, it's free. That's mind blowing to me. So that is the most important thing that you need. Don't ever forget that. Like, because if you don't sync it and you don't sync it properly, it's doing you no good.
Because I'm getting an error message every time I sync now.
You can close the app, reopen it, and then resync
I've
it.
also had to-
You can also uninstall
Yeah.
and reinstall and then sync it.
When you uninstall anything you've done on it,
Make sure
go
you have it
by
written down.
I did that yesterday. I was having a problem. It wasn't letting me in on my inventory, so I'm like, you know what? Fine, whatever. I'll wait. I'll enter in all my party information. Then I'll go back and fix it. It wasn't letting me, so I uninstalled, reinstalled, went back. Everything I entered for that party was gone.
Yeah, so you have to make sure you write that stuff down if you have to get to if it gets to the point where you have to uninstall it. Just do some paperwork forms real quick or write on a scratch piece of paper and then you can uninstall it and reinstall it. That should fix like 90% of your issues. It's like the cliche IT line, like, is it plugged in? Did you turn it off and back on again? Same thing with any app you're ever having issues with. Did you uninstall it and reinstall it?
Before
I don't know why, but that
doing
fixed it.
put your